Tottenham Hotspur came from behind twice to hold Arsenal to a pulsating 2-2 Premier League North London derby draw at the Emirates Stadium. A Christian Romero own goal propelled Arsenal into a deserved lead before Son Heung-min's leveler, and the Spurs captain came up trumps for his side again less than 2 minutes after a Bukayo Saka penalty had restored the Gunners' lead, seeing both sides prolong their unbeaten starts to the season. With Leandro Trossard missing due to a muscular problem, Eddie Nketiah and Gabriel Jesus both started in the final third for the Gunners, while Brennan Johnson was thrust into the limelight for his full Tottenham debut in hostile territory. Let's go around the punditry world to hear what the experts are saying about the North London derby.
From behind twice in a game of this magnitude, you've got to be delighted.
Yeah, I am. I'm pleased. Both with the performance in terms of against the top team, like you said, in a difficult venue. We showed real courage and bravery to sort of stick to kind of playing the football we wanted to play, and that's 3 out of 4 away games we've had where we've had to come from behind, and again, the lads will get encouragement from that. Irrespective of sort of the circumstances of the game, if we stick to our principles, be really aggressive, we can get back into any game.
On the ball today, we didn't play that good. I think we're really good off the ball, really big rhythm, big intensity in the press, and I think we just missed that calm with the ball, to switch from the big and high intensity without the ball to stay a bit more calm on the ball and keep it and get the long attacks, and I think that's where we struggle a little bit today.
When you look at the changing room, I think the players a little bit down. They wanted to win this game. Obviously, it was a tough game, to be honest, in the both ways. I think both teams show in the proper Premier League side team. So I think it was a good game, but I think in the end it was 1 point is fair, both teams.
We feel like that we lost 2 points, and especially the moments when we scored the goals. Obviously the big moment that we had in the first half when Gavi has the huge chance to put it 2-0 and obviously the game changes. I think as well that we concede 2 goals today that we have to have some regrets about them.
Yeah, obviously the second one, Jorginho gets caught in possession, and in derbies you get that because the pace is so unrelenting and quick.
But then you have to score, and that's the difference. And mistakes are part of football. We all made them, and we have to live with them.
Okay, we'll kick off with John Cross on Mirror.
What do you make of the game overall? Do you think it was a fair result?
Wow, we are very disappointed not to win the 3 points. That's for sure. Especially when you go twice in front in the game, and you have the opportunity to win it, especially the moment that we conceded the goals. And we had control of the game, that we could have scored the 2-0 with the situation with Gavi. And then you concede the goal and you have to bounce back. And we did, we scored the goal, and it's a shame that within a minute you concede the other one. And I think that affected the team emotionally quite a lot, and we lacked some composure on the ball to get more passes, to get set in the final third, and became a little bit of a transitional game that is a risky one to play against them. And then we pushed in the last 15-20, we pushed, but we lacked probably the quality in the final pass as well to get the most out of it and win the game.
How frustrating was it at 1-0 when you had clear chances, didn't you, that basic, and then I guess also you go 2-1 ahead, and again you don't have that time to kind of put authority in the game.
In big games you have to put boxes are so important, and we had to put those chances away. We didn't, and as well when you have some errors like the one we have in both goals to concede, then it becomes difficult to win. But honestly, the effort, the energy that the boys put in, the attitude, it was phenomenal. But I think we lacked today certain composure on the ball, to be more dominant and to get set, to get the structure in the game that we needed against a really good Spurs side.
James from CBS.
Mikel, your pressing was so effective in the first half hour, it sort of seemed to taper off. What do you put that down to?
Well, I think in the second half we regained a lot of balls as well in high press. I think they came out twice, one with Maddison when they hooked the ball to him and he took that position, and credit to them because they have the quality and they take the chances to do that. But apart from that, I don't think we conceded from set situations a lot. It's more, it was the danger when we have simple giveaways and when we regain the ball and we didn't do enough with that ball that we regained in certain areas to allow them to spread out and run at us.
Kyle from Football London.
Declan came off at half time. Was that due to an injury? And how is he?
Yeah, he had some discomfort in his back, and he was telling us during the first half that he wasn't comfortable, and when we assessed him at halftime he could not continue, so we have to change him.
Was it the same with Fabio? Did he come off with an injury as well? Or was that
no, Fabio wasn't injured. That was a tactical decision.
There's quite a few injuries now stacking up in the squad.
How much of a test is this going to be over the next couple of weeks for sort of the depth in your squad?
Well, it was already a test today because we missed 5 big players, but it's what we have, and as well trust and give opportunities to the other ones. We have a game every 3 days, and that's the level that we have to show, so go for it.
Simon from Evening Standard.
Just on Spurs, do you, from what you see today, do you feel like they're competing for the same prize as you? Do you put them in that bracket of target?
I think they are a really good side. They are really well coached. You can feel the spirit within the team. You can feel it, the energy within them. But I think it's 6 games is too early, I think, for everybody to discuss where we're going to be.
Miguel from Evening Standard.
So just on Declan, is there any danger he's out for any short or medium term? Or?
Hopefully not, but we have to assess him and see. It's strange that a player like him asked to come off because he wasn't comfortable. So hopefully not, but let's see.
I think you've just got 2 left. James from ESPN.
Do you think the fact you played midweek had any bearing on it? Maybe they looked a bit leggy towards the end of the season?
I don't know. I think we finished the game really strong. You know, we were very dominant. We played in the third. They could not get out. There were moments that we played super hype, you know, and these derbies take you the atmosphere, the energy to play there, and you cannot play at the same pace when you don't have the ball and when you get the ball back, you know, and we lack that composure to be much more dangerous because we could have been.
Okay, last 2, Mark from the Sun.
Let's just ask you about the error by Jorginho. I mean, what happened there? It's almost inexplicable.
What happened is that I love him and we love him and we all love him. And errors are part of football, and they are allowed to make errors because they play and we don't play. And for us is really easy, but if there is someone that is willing to help the team and do the most of it, and he's got it for the team, is and Georgie, and we are all with him.
Finally, Nick from the Guardian.
I know there's such a long way to go, but does it worry you at this point that City have got a 4-point head start over you?
We're not thinking about this, guys. We have a game every single day. We try to win our games. We have tried to win the game today again, and we didn't manage for very obvious reasons. And that's it, and we have to improve.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, really pleased. You know, they're a top side. It's a tough place to come. Not much went our way today in terms of, we conceded, an unlucky own goal and a VAR penalty, so it's not like everything's sort of falling in our favour as well. And just the real character and resilience the boys showed, the belief in the kind of team we want to be, even though, there were times today it was difficult to do that, they just kept persevering, and it's a credit to them.
I mean, obviously, a lot of young players and people on yellow cards as well. You're pleased with the maturity of the performance?
Yeah, I mean, that's all part of it. There's a real will and desire to kind of, become the team we want to be, which includes, making sure that you're disciplined and you're kind of buying into the team ethos. And, we had a really young team out there today. I mean, even guys like Vic, that's his first derby, but, Destiny, Mickey van der Ven, Pape Sarr, Brennan, all in the early 20s, Pyro, even Kulusevski's only 23, so it was a young team, but just super proud of the experienced guys we did have in there. Romero outstanding, Bissouma has been brilliant all year, and Maddison and Sonny was just, on a different level in terms of not his goals, just his goals, because his goals were outstanding, but his work rate and his work ethic today was phenomenal.
Just talk very quickly about injuries. Brennan Johnson and James Maddison, they both okay?
Yeah, not sure with Brennan. Obviously, seems like he felt something. I think hamstring, so we'll assess that. Well, Maddison and Sonny went into it. They weren't 100% going into the game, but they got through it, which suggests to me it's nothing serious.
And a lot of top managers have come here and lost. And you sort of struggling to person that's probably not happy to draw games, but are you happy with the draw today?
It's not about happy with the result. It's about, I think I said before the game, for me it was about the performance, because you can get a result here, a draw, and like I said, you walk away knowing that we escaped, but I don't have that feeling now. I think we went toe to toe with the top team, and at times I thought we really asserted our dominance on the game. Other times they did, but that's what happens when you face top sides. So even if we had a loss today, and I don't like losing, but for me to keep pushing these guys, they need to feel that out there, that what we talk about, what we work on, they need to see it come to fruition. And when it does against the top team, in terms of just being brave with our approach, I think for me that's the key thing, and because of that I'm pleased.
Ange, can I just ask you mentioned before how Celtic, maybe there was a bit of a slow start and that's how previously. Why do you think that this time around it feels like so quickly the players have taken to the methods and embracing it so much?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you know, they're all different, and you know, from my perspective, it doesn't, like I said, doesn't change sort of where I think we're at. I said before the game, you know, we're still 6 games in, irrespective of the outcome. But I think probably what's been the most pleasing thing, and it's player driven, is that, you know, they've created a really good environment for themselves in there where they push each other every day. They're willing to, you know, sort of follow in terms of becoming the team we want to become, following what we're trying to, you know, provide for them in terms of information, in terms of structure. And when you get that belief from the playing group, I think that accelerates growth. And look, we've still got a long way to go, and, you know, from that point of view, the start is still the start for me. But just really proud of the way the players have embraced the fact that, all right, we're gonna be this kind of football team.
Andrew, what was your view on the penalty?
I couldn't see, but I got no idea about the handball rule, mate. I really don't. I mean, I saw the one yesterday at Wolves, and it just seems like if it hits your hand, it's a penalty, and then at other times, if it hits your hand, it's not a penalty. So I got no idea. I've never, you know, it's the one rule in the game I just don't understand. I don't, you know, I just said in there that unless we're creating, you know, we start developing armless defenders, I don't know how you're supposed to block things and, you know, just be in a natural position, you know. So it is what it is, mate. You kind of hope these things sort of, you know, even themselves out over the course of a year. But I don't understand the handball rule. I've said that to referees in the past. I don't know how they see it, to be honest.
We know that Tottenham have improved under Postecoglou, but that felt like a North London derby of old. Is that 2 points dropped, or are you happy to take a point away from a strong battle?
It's what we got, but obviously being twice ahead, we expect to win the game, especially because we scored the goals when we had total dominance of the match, and that was a blow, especially after scoring the second one and conceding so early, when we have to build some momentum and then get grip of the game and be in control to win it, and we missed that today, because at the end as well, I think we were pushing, and we didn't find a way to win it.
Raya with a brilliant goal to deny Brennan Johnson, and then maybe could have tipped the chance over the post before it went in from Maddison. What was your assessment of his performance today?
On who?
Raya.
I thought he was really good. I think he made a really good save. It's true that we didn't have many situations as well today to defend, but I think in general, I think attitude, willingness, incredible. Our rhythm was great, but we needed more composure with the ball. We played at the same rhythm with both things, and in these games we have to be more set.
People quite surprised to see Declan Rice not coming on at half-time. I believe he's picked up a back injury. How much of a concern is that for you? And was Jesus all right when you made that tactical change as well?
Yeah, with Declan, I think he could not continue. He was telling the bench that he was strong in the first half already, so we made a call to change him. And Gabi as well, he hasn't played that many minutes, and he was struggling to finalise the last few minutes.
How much of a blow was that Son goal so quickly after?
Emotionally, it was tough, you know, because you made the most difficult thing. We go ahead again, you know, we say, okay, now let's control the game, let's take the game we want. They have to take risks, and we give the ball away and we concede. But errors are part of football.
Some of the decisions, the handball, I'm sure you thought should have counted. Should Romero have gone off, and was Nketiah maybe a little lucky not to go off at the end?
I haven't seen the images. I look at the benches straight away after the action, and they were also convinced that it was a pen, but I haven't had the chance to have it.
And what do you take from this North London derby in your title race today?
Well, that we wanted to win it, and it's a special day for us because you can make so many Arsenal supporters happy, and I'm sure that they are not as happy as they would have been with the win.
Thank you. Really enjoyable game. And when we look at it now, we're going to look at it through the risk and reward of Tottenham's approach to games. Starting with the risk side of things.
Well, I think the risk is that we know that Tottenham are going to try and play out because that's how they want to play, and I think that Arsenal do want to press high. They want to try and win the ball in an area where they've got a very short route to goal, and I think they started very well with that. I think Tottenham, you know, seeing Tottenham in the way that Tottenham are going to play now, they're going to probably continue to play how they're playing because they've got joy doing it. You see Arsenal, the guys very much a great presser for us, and then you can see the rest of the guys, the trigger, there it is, winning the ball back, trying to win it in an area where you can punish them. This one, you see Bukayo, I thought had a really good game, very, very competent game. He goes long and you're thinking, okay, they're going to change the strategy, but they don't. And this is where you believe that, yes, Arsenal finally done it. Maddison, look how deep he's had to come. Jesus nicks it off of him and you're thinking, a bit of composure, a bit of calmness here.
That's for 2-0.
That's for 2-0. And then, we would have seen what Tottenham really were made of in that respect. And, in the end, he misses the chance. And, it's a big chance to miss.
And look, it's not just in reaction to that one chance there, but it's what has happened this season. So is that your one area of concern at the moment? I mean, look at the shot conversion.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Because I think if you are going to try and chase down a City, if you are going to try and stay in that top four and try and win the league, then the chances you're creating through good play, what they've done there, good closing down, then you have to take those chances. If those are the margins, if that's what you're doing it for, then you have to take the chance.
Which requires another number 9?
Well, we're talking about the margins now, and if that's you need to score those goals. 2-0 makes that a different game. We'd probably seen a different kind of Spurs, because 2-0 down in the derby is different to 1.
So that's the risk side of things. Because you're a very positive person, are going to look at the reward side of things.
Well, there's been a lot of rewards, I think, since Ange Postecoglou's come to the football club. He's been very exciting with the fans, and Maddison has a huge part to play again. I mean, he's had a great time since he's joined Tottenham. He's been instrumental in all the good stuff he does, and they grew into the game. Yes, Arsenal came out with a fast start today, but you can see with Kulusevski and Cole, they grew into the game. This is a big chance, of course, for Johnson arriving into the box, and we talk about who starts and goal. Ray makes an unbelievable save there, and it's fantastic to keep them in the game. But again, Maddison, there's no pressure on Maddison. He can do that simply down the side to Kulusevski, and again, they're attacking the Arsenal goal, and there's no panic here. There's no, they're just nice and calm from Kulusevski. Saga's across into the box, and for me, Ray maybe is a bit advanced in his goal, and for me, maybe can help that over the crossbar. And there's no danger then. He makes a good save. They managed to sort of scramble it clear, and we talk about Maddison again, and he's playing up against his mate here. Saka does him a bit of a kipper in a 1v1 situation, comes alive, and look at Son inside the box, chappers. It's a brilliant bit of forward play. He comes alive, and it's a great goal.
But this, for me, there's options, and this is where he's talking about, Martin Odegaard's talking about indecisiveness and the way we were passing, and this was one from Jorginho. He's got so many options, and bam, kind of like, he kind of falls asleep on that, and this, you're not gonna get away with that. Not with Maddison and Son. That's the kind of thing. And I think that, again, you look at Maddison now, by now Declan Rice is off, massive amount of space here, and I believe in the end, as much as I think a point is a great result, in the end, they could have this should have been a better pass into Son. Son might be tapping that home, but in the end, I think a point, we've got to take that point and be happy with it.
Tottenham have also got to be happy. I mean, as Ange Postecoglou said, they keep coming back. That's 4 of 6 league games. They've fallen behind and they're still unbeaten this season. Well, it is a different Tottenham.
It's a different Tottenham, and it's a Tottenham that got a lot of belief in themselves. You can't say Maddison, Udogie. I think the goalkeeper looked really, really competent, and Van der Ven. They got a few players in very good form and a lot of confidence, and this will give them even more.
Do you think that Eddie Nketiah is slightly lucky not to have received a red?
Well, you don't like seeing people getting red cards, but for me, this is probably the most red card I've seen all season. Vicario has passed the ball, and he's so late. He's out of control of his body. That's
a horrible.
That's leg breaking, And I think just as it runs through, you can see he manages to get his leg off the ground a bit.
Just in time.
Even his knee chappers twisting a bit there, and there's a yellow card. The referee sees it, but surely the VAR would say it's maybe worth a look at least, and I think that's violent, and he's very, very lucky.
Look, if you lunge at an opponent, that it lunges at an opponent in a way that endangers that opponent or with excessive force, then that would be a red card. I suppose the other argument is studs didn't go into him, so is that a mitigating factor?
Maybe, but I think that it was one where I think he's fortunate simply because the ball was gone. I think he was totally committed to it. I don't know if it's because of frustration how the game was going for him. He had one shot on target today. I don't know if it was frustration, but when you look at the ball had already gone, Shane, that's where I feel that he was very fortunate to stay on.
He's totally out of control of his body as well, chappers, and the speed he's coming at as well. Vicario was very lucky it wasn't a bad injury.
One now.
Yeah, terrific game to watch as a neutral. Will it be an emotional one to take for Arsenal, the way the game went, Sol?
I think with the project he's trying to build there, Arteta, looking where he wants the team to go, the big investments they've done this season, he would be just disappointed how they've allowed Tottenham to get back into the game. Players should be, you got control, and then all of a sudden you're so open, and then, okay, Rice went off, Jorginho comes on, not really playing his game. He's more receive, pass, try to do some kind of interesting kind of step over in the middle of the park, gets robbed, and 2-2. So, and then it's game on again. So, yeah, emotionally for him, for the players, okay, neutral, amazing game. But long term, he's saying, well, we should have really put the game to bed in the first half.
And as we mentioned earlier on, Spurs' character so soon under this new manager, 8 points already from losing positions.
Yeah, no, I thought we were the big question before the game was biggest test for Tottenham. Were they going to go out and play the same way as they have been? Yes, they did. They went on the front foot. They pressed high. They defended right up on the halfway line, and they said, like, if you play through us, fair dues. But they did all right for me. Okay, first half I thought Arsenal were the better team, had better chances. But second half they dominated. They dominated a lot of play. They looked secure at the back. Not many chances created from Arsenal in that second half. And if anything, Spurs looked dangerous on the break. So for me now, that is a big test they've overcome, and they could be the real deal. They have been playing exceedingly well against lesser teams than Arsenal. But today they went toe-to-toe with Arsenal, who are looking to win the league this year and go one better than they did last year. So I think there's a lot of optimism and a lot of belief in that camp now that they get a big test next week at home to Liverpool. If they come through that as well, then I think they are going to be saying, like, we're setting our sights a little bit higher than perhaps what people were thinking at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, you noticed something right at the end, didn't there? 2-2 away in a North London derby. Most managers would say that's a great result. We've been behind, we'll take it. 7 bodies from Tottenham in the penalty area going for the winner.
Yeah, it literally, as the referee blew his whistle at the end of the game, there were 6 bodies and one within another second or two was just arriving into the... It's incredible. Away at the Emirates. I love what the new manager is doing. I love before the game saying, like, we'll learn nothing if we just... And I truly believe that. If I was going to go into management, okay, you've got to cut your cloth accordingly, but if you're going to improve as a team and you're Tottenham and your ambitions are to be a very good team, you can't just go and sit back behind the ball in every single game you're playing. You've got to take risks. And okay, as Glenn mentioned earlier on in the show, you might get beaten once or twice by a big scoreline, but that's how you learn, that's how you improve. If you want to get to there, you want to get to be Manchester City or be as good as Arsenal or these teams, you've got to try to play your game and not every time you come against a good team, all right, we'll defend now, because you're never going to learn then. And I just love his bravery. I thought Tottenham were really brave today and deserved the point.
Well, Sol mentioned there, big moment for Arsenal was losing Declan Rice at half-time, replaced by Jorginho. Afterwards, Mikel Arteta gave us an update on that situation.
Yeah, he had some discomfort in his back, and he was telling us during the first half that he was uncomfortable, and when we assessed him at half-time, he could not continue, so we have to change him. Hopefully not, but we have to assess him and see. It's strange that a player...